All right. So what we got going on today is a 10 gallon brew day. It's going to be a imperial stout, Russian imperial stout, whatever you want to call it. What I'm going to have to do with this recipe is it's such a big beer, is that I'm going to have to split it between two 5-gallon mashes, and to get my say 12 gallons or so. So basically, I'm going to have to, because my mash tun will only hold 23 pounds of grain, give or take. There at 1.5 quarts per pound, or 1.25 quarts per pound is what I'm going to do. So I know that a 5-gallon batch is going to max out my mash tun. So what I'm going to have to do is split a 10-gallon batch into just two identical 5-gallon batches. The OG on this beer is supposed to be 1.102 or something. I have to check it. I'll put the recipe in the description. But yeah, so it's going to be the biggest beer I ever brewed, and it's going to be 10 gallons of it. So a couple challenges. I don't really know what my if I'm going to be able to hit my target, since I'm only going to do a single batch sparge, and I've never actually tried to get this much sugar, so efficiency is going to go down. I know. Drinking a Ska Mexican lager. Pretty good little summer beer that they put out. Yeah, and so also what I'm kind of doing preparation. I'm actually going to brew tomorrow, but I'm just kind of prepping. I'm going to got my water measured out for my first sparge. And also what I'm going to do is I'm going to ferment the entire 10 gallons, but I'm going to do it in a empty keg. This is just a normal Sankey keg that I've boiled like a gallon of water in there. I let it boil for 5-10 minutes. I've obviously put some OxyClean and rinsed it out as well as I could. And just like a double precautionary, boiled about a gallon of water. I'm going to put some Star San in there, and then that's going to be my fermentation vessel for the whole 10 gallons. I'm going to be using a yeast cake from a red ale that I did. It's California ale. So I should have plenty of yeast. I might throw a packet of US 05 in there as well, just because it's going to be such a massive beer and so much beer. I don't want to underpitch it. So, yeah, I've got my fermentation keg, I guess you could say. I'm just going to let it chill overnight, and then put some Star San in there tomorrow and just let it, as normal. But yeah, I'm going to get this grain mill going and crush all my grain, got my water out, so tomorrow I just start heating stuff up and going. So I'll start taping more tomorrow. Alright, it's the next day. Strike water is heating up nicely here. Went to the Zach Brown concert last night. It was really cool at Red Rocks. I might have some video of that. So into country sky, just so what I like to do too is I like to put just some really hot water in there just to heat up your whole mash tun. That way there's not a temperature difference when you pour your water in here. You know that at least your mash tun is as hot and it's heated up. So there's not. I've done that a few times where I missed my mash temperatures. But speaking of that, the next shot will probably be me mashing in and showing temp. I'm going to try to shoot for like 150 since it's such a huge beer. I want it to ferment out more than, if I mashed at 156 or something like that, it would probably be a little bit more, a little sweeter than I would like it to be. So yeah, we'll get going with that. I got got new carpet getting put in today. So The guy's in there doing that. So I'm gonna brew some beer while he puts carpet in. I ordered that. Okay, so here's the basement. So you did the stairs all the way down. And the master bedroom carpet. It's a little sunny, but obviously just I'm sure you guys have seen carpet before, but this is the guest bedroom / kids room. No kids, but one day soon, I'm sure. So, yeah, that's the home remodel. He did a good job. So, alright, let's go back to brewing. So we are so close to a boil, it's not even funny. Some might consider this a boil since there's actually churning going on, but I think the foam control is gonna kick this thing's ass. I'll get back with you if there's any kind of weird, like super high. If it doesn't work, I'll get back with you. But I think it's just gonna boil over. I think it's just gonna boil and not do much. This is what the 5-gallon did. It just kind of stayed at a super low boil over, just super low foam, just like this, and it just kind of started boiling with no high boil over. So I'm kind of hoping the same for the for this part. So no news is going to be good news on this one. All right, so things went downhill in a hurry. I usually don't even have that right there. It's usually right there. But I usually drain off through my counterplate chiller, and it'll chill it, and then it'll go into my fermenter. I don't know why, but it would not go through my plate chiller. So there's something clogged in there. It sucked. So basically, what I'm having to do is just drain it straight from the boil kettle here, which I don't even think. Got a couple more gallons to go. Straight from my boil pot, straight into the fermenter. So we're going to do the old Aussie no-chill method, without figuring out what's wrong with my plate chiller, and if there's something stuck in there, it just wouldn't drain through there. I have no idea what. I even tried. I even blew it out like 3 or 4 times with my my air hose here. I blew the shit out of it. It came blowing back out of the pot. So I have no idea what the issue is there, but it wouldn't just drain through there. So that sucks. So we're going to have 11 gallons of hot ass wort. I've never done the no chill method, so we're going to try that out too. Another major malfunction was you could probably go back and listen to. I was saying how many hops should go into the into the 60 minutes. So I said probably just over an ounce goes into 60 minutes. Actually, I need to turn off my water. Yes, I guess I won't be using that. So I was saying, just over an ounce is into 60 minutes. So if you think about it, an ounce into a 10-gallon batch of imperial stout, not a whole lot. That's because I had the recipe formulated for a 5-gallon batch, and I was basically just doubling everything. And I did do that as far as my grains and as far as my grains and water additions and all that, I was fine. But when it came time to weigh out the hops, I didn't quite do the math. So I have hops by the bulk, so it's not. I didn't have the hops already kind of laid out. I just had a big bag of it, and so I basically realized it at 10 minutes to the end of the boil. So I had about 3 ounces of hops that I had to get into the boil. So I just dumped it in and boiled it for an extra 20 minutes. Um, I don't know. I don't know what that's going to do, but I mean, basically, it's just for bitterness. It's going to sit for 4 or 5 months. I'm not worried about aroma. It's just bitterness to balance it out. So basically, I hopped it for a 5-gallon when I'm really doing a 10-gallon. 5 minutes till the end of the boil, I realized it and threw the remaining 3 ounces that should have been in there. So, and boiled it for another 20 minutes. So I basically just have to add another 20 minutes to all my hop additions and figure out what my IBU is. So, all right. Well, it looks like we are done draining off. I'm gonna throw it in the old firm chamber and get it chilled down. I basically have a yeast cake still to rack off and a few packs of US05 that I probably will put on there. So, yeah, it's yet to be determined on gravity. Actually, let me get this thing set up and I'll take a gravity reading for you guys. Okay, so as you can see, we're at 24 bricks, maybe just a slight under 24 bricks, which is 1.000. So it's about where we want it to be. We're still got the dilemma about the the no chill method. Mate? Oh, crocky. Oh, yeah, you don't need to chill it down there, Neil. You just gotta throw it in your fermenter. Fucking throw it in the fridge and let nature take care of the rest. Bitching's out. Spot on. So, that's my that's my Aussie impression, sorry. But, yeah, as you can see here, we have a Sankey keg full of, scorching ass hot liquid. So, I'm gonna try to get this thing chilled down. But, yeah, so I won't be pitching yeast today. Probably tomorrow. I'm not gonna film any of that. But, put it in my firm fridge, man, I don't even know. I'll just, put it in the firm fridge and start cooling it. Hopefully it works out. I don't know if you can see that, but that's probably why it didn't. It's just completely funked up of hops, so that's probably why it wasn't draining. But, alright, later. Alright, so just to recap on the big stout that I brewed, it turned out that I did get a hop stuck in my plate chiller, which is totally my fault since there was 6 ounces of dry hops too, nonetheless. I mean, if it was pellets, it probably would have just, it would have just went right through, but it's leaf, so it was all leaf. So 6 ounces. I don't know why I didn't use my hop bag. I wasn't doing an IPA, so I didn't think I had to, which is dumb. But it got clogged right away, so I did end up blowing it out with my air compressor, which I don't know how you get those hops out. Just let it soak, I guess. But I ended up blowing it out like 60 psi, and it came out like a freaking bullet. It was crazy. It like splat against the wall. But so I did kind of the no-chill method in my. It's actually a kegerator. I'm actually converting a fridge into a kegerator, and this is going to be my firm chamber. Fermenting at 19 degrees there, it just kicked off. But, so I did the no-chill method. I was coming back and I should have just left the keg out in the garage because it's still getting pretty cool at night. Let it cool off as low as it could go and then put it in the fridge. But I put it in the fridge hot, so it was probably, 180 degrees at least. And I put it in the keg or in the fridge to chill, and I came back 12 hours later and it was still a little over 100 degrees, so I think, that was just a bad idea to put it in the fridge. I don't think it was very effective. Should have left it out and get down to 100 degrees on its own before I stuck in the fridge, but it's all good. 24 hours later, I ended up pitching. It took about 24 hours to get it down to 60 degrees, but I ended up pitching the 2 packets of US05 and the yeast cake from like a 4.5% beer. So I definitely think I pitched enough yeast, which I don't usually do, but so that's good. Another fail that I had is while oxygenating it, I got an oxygen stone and like a I don't know why I insist on walking around, but I got an oxygen stone and I got some an oxygen tank with a regulator, and so I'd never used it before. So I was going to do it for like a minute. I was going to oxygenate it, so I was about 45 seconds in, and I could hear kind of like a pop, and I knew exactly what happened. I blew the oxygen stone off, but it was inside the keg. So it's like, well, I don't know. I guess I could have tried to get a magnet but it wasn't going to work. So my oxygen stone is inside the fermenter right now, and I'll have to get that out and once it's done. But it's chugging right along. I put some firm cap in it. When I pitched the yeast, I didn't really have a way to cap this off. I mean, it's obviously working, but it's not ideal. I would like to find something that fits over it, and then I could hook a blow-off tube onto that. I was kind of going on faith that firm control would keep it down, and I'm still hoping it does. I think we're actually at full carousing right now, just judging, but I kind of took precautions. As you can see, and I'm in the middle of my living room, so this isn't exactly where my fermenter is going to be forever, but I kind of expected maybe blow off and nasty stuff, so I put like a lid and towels and stuff. But I walked in the house today because I'm not actually staying here right now, but I walked in and I could just smell it. Like the whole house reeks of like hops and like fermenting beer, which usually smells good, but when you're expecting a blow off, you're like, oh shit. But it was all good. So yeah, I'm gonna let that ferment for I'll probably leave in primary for a month, transfer it over to secondaries for at least 3 months. So that's what I'm kind of banking on. I guess I'll just at 3 months give it a try. But yeah, so we'll just go with that, and then put 5 gallons in a oak bourbon barrel, and then 5 just kind of regular served, probably out of kegs. Maybe just bottle out of kegs. I don't want to try to bottle a conditioning a 10% beer that's 3 months old. I don't even want to deal with it. So yeah, so that's about it. So I think everything's going to work out. As long as it doesn't blow over, it should be okay. All right, see you guys.